Hey, very good evening, everyone. A warm welcome to Biotechnica's Placements webinar. I'm Shreya Chaudhary, the Corporate Relations Manager at Biotechnica, and I'm delighted to be your host for today. My role at Biotechnica is to collaborate with HR professionals of biotech and pharma industries with job seeking candidates like you with the right career opportunities. So I bridge the gap between HR professionals with hiring requirement and the candidates like you who are actively looking for the opportunities. So, in today's session, it is all about insights, guidance, and career growth in biotech and pharma domain industries. So, we are honored to have an esteemed panel of industry experts with us today, and each bringing valuable experience and knowledge from diverse domain. Let me introduce our speakers for today's session. We have an exceptional leader, Mr. Vishal Sir, the HR head of Biopharmaceuticals Limited. Next, we have Mr. Rupankar Chakrabarti, sir, CHRO at Rain Industries. Our third speaker is Ms. Nabanita Bhattacharya. She is the HR head at Organica Biotech Private Limited. And joining us next is MD Mahfooz Khan, and he is regulatory executive and social relationship manager at BIODILIGENT. So finally, we have Dr. Praveen Bommareddy. He is the chief technical officer at Vivid Pharma. So now Vishal sir will be going ahead with he have some insights to share with you all.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity to interact with the students. So, as Shreya was saying, I have been in this industry for now almost 15 years plus. Before this, I was with automobile industry for another a decade, 10 years of that. Uh, Prior to that, I was with Indian military. I had served the Indian Army and with a short service commission. And so, let me give you a very interesting perspective. So, if you see, first of all, the industry per se of healthcare, and in healthcare, I will predominantly divide into pharma and biopharma, right? This industry is evolving and this industry is going to grow vast, right? I'll give you a recent example in which our Honorable Prime Minister announced that the government will be investing somewhere around $50 billion into the growth of this industry, right? You see one policy which he rolled out about like Bio 3, right? So that's the amount of investment which is going to go from the government of India, right? And you see everywhere the world is moving back to India, and India is growing very fast as the hub of pharma also, whether it is manufacturing and the recent growth which comes from the research and development also. I represent Gennova Biopharmaceutical. I'm the HR head here, and you see Gennova is one of the leading biotech organization. We have published our research paper into the global standard, which includes a recent publication in Nature Medicine also. Now, I have three things to tell you, students. First, I told you that you're in the right industry, but at the same time, when you're in the right industry, I advise you all to invest a lot, right, into your vocational skill trainings and understanding that what are the different roles in this industry and how you're investing your continuous development, right? Now, there are three opportunities I would suggest you all. Before that, let me give you another perspective. At Genova, how do we hire talent? In Genova, we hire talent. We prefer, by the way, talent to take on board to our signature program. We call it Abhyudaya. That's an internship program where the students after their graduation, preferably after post graduation, they come and they do an internship projects with us for as minimum 6 months, and we prefer for 12 months. They do this. In this 12 months they get an hands-on experience, and we make them job ready then. Most of the time we try to absorb them with our own needs, with our own roles, right? Apart from this, we go for the fresh hiring and also the lateral hiring also for this. We are also a PhD center, so we prefer and we call students who would like to do PhD with us. We are PhD center, approved PhD center from Pune University. Now, this is the typical this thing. Why I'm saying this to you is, as if you are into your final year of your undergrad or masters, you must invest into how do you get opportunity to do an internship projects, right? And I would suggest that go for an internship project which is not no less than 6 months. 6 months is minimum, because you get an hands-on experience of that. Now, what are the opportunities available for you all to do the internship projects? I give you example of Gennova, the Abhyudaya internship program. I'm pretty sure in industry there are many organizations, they also run this program. Go and apply for this. That is one way of doing it. Second, you see government of India runs another program called NAPS, National Apprenticeship Scheme, right? In that you can apply for that, stay there with under NAPS for at least minimum 1 year to 2 year, right? Even government of Maharashtra also have rolled out something called MAPS, Maharashtra Apprenticeship, and they're promoting students to apply for that also. Now, why I'm saying this, there is a mandate for organization also to absorb minimum 2.5% to maximum 25% of employment can come under NAPS and MAPS, right? Third thing, who are students who are from biotech organization, you can always apply for an internship projects or programs which are directly under DBT, Department of Biotechnology, where you not only, by the way, all these programs give you a good amount of a stipend, which is somewhere between 15,000 to somewhere around 25,000 per month. But the great part here is that you get an opportunity to learn with the organizations which is there. So that's my very strong suggestion for all the students to go and apply for these programs of this. Thirdly, why it is very important from to get yourself role ready or job ready, right? In the interviews, when you see as a fresh graduate students or postgraduate students, or for that matter, when they sit in the interview, most of the time I have seen that the interview rotates around two things. One is your academic scores. Now, if you've got an academic score with a good GPA, I think you're in for the interview. But during the interview, most of the time the interview panel is going to ask you that what have you done in your projects. So don't take your so-called summer internship projects or your final projects, right, casually. Do that very sincerely. Your interviews are going to be based on your project which you have taken with this, and the interviewing panel will be very interested to see that what is the practical knowledge you have acquired, and also the academic knowledge you have applied in your projects. So take very sincere efforts in preparing your projects with this. Let me tell you that in Genova, we help the students to make sure that they make their project as good as a research level of thesis, right? We generate reports and send reports back to the colleges on the progress of the students, right? And we also recommend students for what role they might be suiting well, right? So that's my very strong suggestion for you all. And the finally one which I said at the last one is, try and see that which is that domain area you would like to be expertise. Don't go with only thing that I would like to work in R&D, right? Within the R&D also there are many sub functions which are there. Get that clarity that where would you like to take your career forward. It's not just R&D, right? You can always go to manufacturing. In manufacturing, you can see whether you would like to start with QC or QA, or for that matter supply chain management, right? Or that matter in operations also, core operations also. Another area you all must think and open up is into the sales and marketing also, right? I have seen the trend of we started hiring with a lot of fresh graduate, whether it is B Farm or M Farm, or even for that matter BTech also, into an area of sales and marketing. Because let's say biotech, the sales force in biotech, we expect them to be having a very specialized academic background also, right? I think these are my very strong suggestion for all the students. So I think I spoke for almost now 12 to 13 minutes. I'm going to take a pause here and give another couple of minutes for the students to ask questions if they have anything. I'm open for your questions. Over to you, all students. Shreya, you can help me if you see any questions coming on your screen also. Right. So I think if there are no questions coming up, let me continue in the direction which I was discussing on this. Students who are there in their masters, right? Uh, uh, I have another suggestion for all the master students also. Try and aspire to do your research after industry experience of maybe 2 years or 3 years, right? That will give you a different career path. Don't hold on yourself after your masters that no, I want to pick up a job. And there are many countries which call for applications of doing research, right? I will name list few of the countries. By the way, in our Department of Technology or Department of Biotechnology, or for that matter BIODIC, they have programs where you will get a lot of sponsorships also. But try and start continue writing for the scholarship for your research. uh, Countries like Germany, right? Countries like UK, Finland, they are opening up a lot, and you get a good handsome of scholarship, by the way, there. The good part is the PhD programs there are very stringent. You have to complete in 2 years, right? So don't have this mindset that the PhD means that I have to invest 5 years. I know things are changing in India also, but these all countries, they're very stringent 2 years, right? When you go there, you get a good amount of stipend and also a scholarship also, and you complete your PhD and come back. That's going to help to boost your career at very different level when you are back, right? So these are my very strong submission and suggestion for you all. Those who have still questions and not able to maybe write it down, you can always reach out to me on LinkedIn. Drop some questions or queries in there. Do visit to Gennova website if you're keen and interested to participate into our Abhidya internship program. Do let me know. It's a very competitive, by the way. We ask application across the India, and as I said, the only condition is minimum of 6 months to maximum 12 months. We get something like 350 applications after sorting, and we select the top 25 to do the Abhidya internship program with us. I'll pause here. Thank you very much, Shreya, for having me here. And as I said, okay, I have a first question. Currently, I'm a first year student pursuing BSc biotech and want to study masters in US. So how should I start my journey and crack scholarship for masters? Uh, so one thing, good that you're realizing and you wanted to do this in your masters, from your masters. I would say also keep your radar for research also. Couple of things. One is go and search those universities which call for or which really gives some scholarship programs, right? You will get that. If you don't get that, just write it to me. I will send the list of these institutes which welcome applications, right? Secondly, very strong, as I said, even if you are in your BSc also, focus on your co-curricular activities and your projects which you are taking it. And specifically, as I said, internship projects, they focus a lot, right? As I said, that there are the basic academia GPA or your percentage that will just give you a tick of qualifying this. But what will give you the edge is your extracurricular activities, including your different projects which you're doing it. So don't limit yourself that you're in BSc that you're not able to do projects, all of that. Go for it. That's my submission for you all. Okay, so I have done biotech project in XYZ Institute and did not get placed after MSc in biotech in 2021, right? I'm still unemployed, and should I do so? As I said, start. So you should go for first is not start and attempting for participating into national apprentice scheme, right, or Maharashtra scheme, apprentice scheme, or go for the DBT internship projects or scheme there. Invest yourself for 1 year. Don't go with a mindset that no industry will pick you immediately for a permanent role. Sometimes it doesn't happen, right? Give yourself that 1 year in that organization, and you will see that within 1 year when you get that exposure in that role, you will be role ready, and you will get good break into a good organization. That's my suggestion for you. So Shreya, I think I had overshooted
Yeah.
minutes, so let me pause here because
No,
I
no,
think.
it's completely fine, sir. Thank you for answering all the questions and taking all of them. And it was really insightful session of yours. And so, students, we have uh, Mr. Rupankar Chakrabarti. He is CHRO at Rain
Thank you, Shreya.
Industries. Yeah. So let us hear insights from him. So Rupankar sir here. So you are on mute.
Thank you. Thanks, Shreya.
Yeah.
And thank you for inviting me in this interactive session. I always like to interact with the students and that too more with the biotech students, being a biotech professional, being a biotech professional, then moved into HR. So biotech is very close to my heart. And I think Vishal has covered most of the things in a very articulated manner. So the points what he mentioned are absolutely correct, and I wanted to say a few of those things. So I don't want to repeat again what Vishal has just mentioned. But it's very important you focus on your project, what he described. That's very true. So my and one disclaimer I want to have about myself that I am no longer part of biotech industry, but I worked in biotech life sciences for 15 years while I was heading HR of Reliance Life Sciences. I moved out from there from the healthcare industry 2 years back. But again, I am by training a biotech professional and then moved into HR. So, and whatever my experience I had while I was into biotech industry and being a biotech professional, I'd like to share those 2 cents with the students and with the job aspirants. So, and an extension of what Vishal was just mentioning, the opportunities in biotech and pharma per se is expanding a lot in India. It's growing a lot in India. Every day I am based in Hyderabad, and Hyderabad is becoming a kind of an hub for global capability center for many pharma and the life sciences organizations of the world. For example, a month back, or even not even a month back, Amgen started one of the largest GCC in Hyderabad. So all the back office and all the data science related activities in the context of that organization, that life science organization, biotech organization, will happen in India. Same way, there are GCCs, there are capability centers of Sanofi, AstraZeneca, Glaxo. So and a lot of such names are coming up again day by day, and they are opening their shops in India. So what does it mean? It means that India is becoming a kind of uh, development center, and the technology center for all the biotech companies in the world. What does it mean to you as students? So your opportunities improve, your growth opportunities actually expands, and your job opportunities again open up for in number of ways. So couple of things when you are aspiring for jobs, which you have to keep in mind is that No organization as a fresher. I assume most of you are fresher in the industry, in the fresher from college or studying in colleges. No company would understand or would expect you to be an expert. What they look at you is your learning attitude and learning aptitude. And whatever you have done in the college, whether you have done it in a proper way, whether you try to learn the basics. And from my experience, I have seen when we used to do the hiring of freshers or the young students from colleges, many of them, I'm sure not in this particular audience, many of them they don't understand the basics. For example, I can give you example because it's very important for you to know. For a microbiology student, they don't understand that they can't explain the difference between gram positive, gram negative bacteria. For a person who is planning to be into manufacturing, he doesn't know the classification of classrooms or the room classifications or the buffer preparations requirements, such and such thing, basic chemistry things like normality, difference between normality and molarity. So please focus on the basics. Have a good grab on the basics rather than being trying to be specialist at the very beginning. Of course, you like to make your mind in a way that which are the areas you like to specialize in, you like to build your career in. uh, Whatever way that even you can decide that after you join the industry, after you do your internship in the industry, but in order to crack the internship or crack a GET program seat, you need to be very focused on your basics, what what you have learned during the college period, during your curriculum. So that's very, very important. Second important aspect, I would say, the area where the opportunities are coming up in India is becoming a kind of, for pharma segment, is becoming an hub of manufacturing for API, active pharma ingredients, and as an extrapolation of that, key source material, the KSM part. So if anybody would like to be a specialist in pharma manufacturing, these are the areas you can focus on, and your career would be very good, extremely good if you can excel in these particular areas. That doesn't mean that formulation uh, career opportunity is not that great. There are also number of opportunities over there, but government of India is focusing on API manufacturing in India, especially to mitigate the risk of uh, importing things from China, because China is supposed to be the hub of API material, the key source material. So that's where we are trying to reduce the reliance on China, and that's why government of India is putting a lot of incentive on API manufacturing or the KSA, key source material manufacturing. So that's one aspect. Second aspect, as far as the biologics is concerned, there are a lot of products which are getting off patented. So there are a lot of biologics in the context of biosimilars which are coming in the frame. And so a lot of Indian companies like Reliance is there, then there is Biocon, then there is Intas, there is Dr. Reddy's in Hyderabad, and there are so many other companies I can name. They're focusing a lot on biologics development and biologics manufacturing. So that another area, there are a lot of career opportunity. Another important area, there's a lot of focus on the quality assurance and quality control. Most of the things nowadays in the context of data integrity and in the context of making it foolproof, uh, a lot of focus on quality assurance activity, electronic batch manufacturing records, track-wise, and those kind of stuff. So if you want to build your career in quality assurance, that's another great area to build your career. Quality assurance and again the quality control. Then people don't try that area. That's a nascent area, which is the clinical development, a clinical trial and the clinical development, and in that context, biometrics and those particular, and the clinical programming. So I'm not talking about the bioinformatics, but within the clinical development, various other technology or technical areas. So these are the areas which are coming in a big demand in India, and even in the clinical trials, you have pharmacovigilance, you have the whatever the adverse reaction, adverse event management, severe adverse event management, regulatory. In the panel, there's a regulatory expert. She will tell you the details. And then, so what I'm trying to say, there are a lot of opportunities which are coming up in the recent past in the pharma or biopharma segment in India. So India no longer is a kind of an is kind of an pharma world or the vaccine pharmacy of the world or the vaccine uh, capital of the world, but it's getting into the developmental activities also. That's why a lot of those global capability centers are coming up. So the future is pretty bright, but that it depends on how you want to take it up, and where which are the areas you want to focus on, you want to build your career. That's very important. And the third important aspect, what Vishal was mentioning, I echo that. You need to focus on your internship. Not necessarily you have to do internship in an industry. I'm sure not all of you would get an opportunity to have an to do an internship in the industry. But even if you do an internship in your college, in your university, do it properly. The internship should have an objective, and the 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 industry people would like to say how you have approached that particular problem. That's very important. It's not that within 6 months you'll be able to crack a solution, you'll able to uh, uh, solve the problem, but they would like to know what was your approach and you were serious about the project or the internship or not. And my ardent request for all of you, whomsoever would like to uh, this thing, build your career in biotechnology, it's very important to do the higher study, because I have seen if you do not have higher study after a certain period of time, especially in the biotech space, your growth starts staggering. So if you want to really focus on your growth in the industry, in the biotech industry, I would always urge, if you have the opportunity, please do a PhD. That gives you a lot of other opportunities. But before that, you need to clear your mind where you want to be, because there are a lot of opportunities in biotech, even in the academics also. Not that academics today, academics in India also pay a lot. There are a lot of stipend, good amount of stipend you get, and that, as my earlier speaker was mentioning, there are a lot of opportunities government of India is giving in terms of giving internship. Even the prime minister internship also has come on the way. Then there are different governments, they are giving a lot of internships. Hyderabad, like the Telangana government, they are coming up with a huge biotech park, pharma park. So there are a lot of opportunities which are coming, and there are a lot of academic institutions which are actually focusing, promoting biotech project or biotech assignments or the biotech research, which are focusing not only on theoretical research, but focusing on giving solutions to the real-time problems. So be very focused where you want to be. Neither that industry is good, not that academia is good. At the same way, academy is also good. At the industrial prospect is also good. So you'll have to make your mind where you want to be. If you want to be focused on your R&D, you want to do kind of some kind of problem solving activities, I would always tell you, be in the academics, be in the research, and then you can excel there. Even if you be in India, there are a lot of new opportunities which are coming up in this particular segment also. If you want to be in industry, these are the areas what I mentioned. You can excel, or you can have your career built in those particular areas. There are a few other areas also. I have seen people uh, doing biotechnology, then after that they have done MBA. Even that's also a good idea. Like for me, I did my biotechnology post graduation, then I did MBA and then moved to a different segment. There are a lot of people I have seen, they have done biotechnology masters and they have done MBA in marketing, and they moved into a business development segment, because in biotech or pharma, marketing is a not the sales that typical food soldiers were there in the market. The business development is also an area which needs a lot of attention and a lot of focus, like your in licensing, out licensing activities, which happen, which are very prominent in pharma biotech segment, need a lot of people who have got biotech background. At the same time, they understand the nuances of marketing, which comes from your MBA study, MBA course. So that's another area where you can think of building your career. Uh, but most importantly, as I mentioned, you be focused on your basics and be focused on your study in the context of what kind of project you are doing, what kind of internship you are doing, and be very clear about what you try to do. So that's what I just wanted to say in nutshell. And in Indian context, I mentioned few of the companies, but today, thanks to LinkedIn and internet, you can see there are a lot of opportunities, and most of the organizations, they take actually freshers. So you'll have to keep your eyes and ears open. There are many institutions, like I know Biocons, and when I know Reliance, they have their Institute of Life Sciences. Like we used to have Reliance Institute of Life Sciences, where you used to take a lot of freshers, and we used to run courses over there. For example, whomsoever want to build their career in clinical study, clinical trials, there we have programs, diploma programs for clinical trials on clinical development. We had programs on quality. Still, those programs are there. We have programs in manufacturing, and there are a lot of GET programs, a lot of young manufacturing professionals program, young medical marketing programs. So just look at the options what you have. So that's very important, and I'm sure in today with the technology and with the internet, LinkedIn, you can get a lot of such opportunities. You have to just keep your eyes and ears open. So that's one thing I just want to share. Even a lot of other organizations also, they have similar kind of programs. They have, I was not knowing about Geneva, so it's learning for me today. I understood Geneva also had similar programs. So a lot of such organizations, they take those programs, they conduct those kind of programs, and then you can take advantage of those programs. And a lot of such um, organizations have uh, opportunity of doing higher study. Many of you may not be able to do higher studies at this juncture because you may have other liabilities or may have other commitments. So while you are working, you can do those programs. For example, Reliance, we had a PhD tie-up with an university called Deakin University, which is in Australia. Then we have MSc by research in with Mumbai University. So it's not that the road is over once you get into the industry as far as your higher study is concerned. So you can think of doing higher study after getting into the industry, after moving into the industry, because many of the organizations have those kind of collaborations of many of the academic institutions. So that's what I just wanted to share in a nutshell. I don't know whether I have exceeded my time, but if you have any questions, or if you want to ask me any question, I'll be free to answer.
So yeah, Rupankar, so we have got lots of questions for you,
Yeah.
and yeah, here is one
Can
question
you
by
just read it
Purva.
out, because I am talking from mobile, I can read it.
Yeah, sure, sir. So it is by
Uh,
Purva Mane. She mentioned
yeah.
that she has 4 years of gap after completion of MSc in biotechnology. She has
Hmm.
done 6 months of internship, and she's asking like what skills should she opt to get job in life sciences after 4 years of gap.
Again, I would say you focus on your basics. And I would suggest, because you have a gap, you can do it depends on your likings, what kind of career you want to build in which area. There are a lot of diploma programs, a lot of certification programs today available. So you can do that in order to refresh your knowledge in the biotech segment, and then you can look at the options what I just mentioned on all those organizations. And then another important aspect, the software aspect, be little focused on your communication skill, because I have seen many of the students, they know many of the things but they cannot express. So be very quite clear on what you try. I'm not saying that it need to be very, you know, to be a kind of having a Queen's English kind of accent, but be very focused on what you're trying to say. Be very clear, articulate on what you try to communicate. So that's very important. So I would say focus on your basics. If you have your gaps, do a refresher course in the area where you want to build your career, and third, have a decent communication skill. I can't hear
I,
you.
yeah, am I audible now, sir?
Yeah, yeah, you can. You are.
Yeah. So it is a question by Divya. She's asking, sir, I did BSc agriculture. I'm planning to do PG in human genetics. So it
Hmm.
is okay to shift the field.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely okay. There are a lot of agriculture students. They do, and I think there is a synergy between agriculture and the genetics, because I am sure in your agriculture curricula also you have been taught about genetics. And then again, that's another area. Good that you asked me this question. There's another area in agro, biotech. This thing in agro, uh, implications of biotech in agro. So it would be a very good idea if you do a PG in genetics, and which you can imply in your core area of agriculture. I'm sure I'd be very happy if you do that.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. It was really insightful session from you. You explaining all the challenges, experience, and the opportunity for the students. And we would like I would like to proceed with our next speakers is Miss Nabanita
Thank you.
Bhattacharya. Yeah.
Thank you.
See,
Thanks, Shreya.
thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much for inviting.
So
Hello,
we
am I
yeah,
audible?
we have yes, ma'am. So we have Miss Namanita Bhattacharya, ma'am, on the screen. She is the HR head at Organica Biotech Private Limited. So all over to you, ma'am.
Yes, okay. Thank you, Shreya. I think firstly, I'd like to thank Biotechnica for this platform. It's a delight to share this screen and the platform with some very knowledgeable people from the fraternity, and it's a delight to interact with the students any given point of time. I exactly feel and relate to what you all must be going through, because a few years from now, I was also like one of you, masters in molecular biology and genetics. Pretty much at that point of time, maybe confused whether I should go the PhD way or I should go the other alternative career way. So we'll get to that story a little later. So I am representing Organica Biotech Private Limited today. We are a company that has entered the Silver Jubilee this year. We complete 25 years this year. We are out and out a biotechnology based manufacturing and research organization. And we, as the name suggests, we deal in providing organic sustainable solutions for the end to end environmental management, giving it back to the society. Now, what do? We are primarily in the bioremediation or wastewater treatment, solid waste management, agriculture, aquaculture, hygiene, and sanitation management. So, in brief, we have 5 different product segments, 5 different product verticals running in our organization at any given point of time. That is the as is. Now we have the research wing, which is a DSIR certified, government recognized, Ministry of Education recognized certified lab, which is equipped to provide PhD degree to all you people while you are engaged with us to work. We have an MOU signed with Vellore Institute of Technology. So in case any of you aspirants want to, enroll in a PhD while working and earning for yourselves, Organica Biotech is a great platform to approach. Now, hiring process and recruitment workflow, I think my previous speakers have given a beautiful insight as to where the biotech industry stands today. Not only biotech, I would say biological sciences, including microbiology, genetics, bioinformatics. All of these things have really come together in the current global scenario, and they are contributing a lot to the economical growth, which means there is a lot of opportunity for freshers out there in the country and abroad. I was very recently attending a program conducted by CSIR, where Organica and CSIR got into an MOU signing. And it was very heartwarming to know that the center has funded so much towards the upliftment of the fraternity of biotechnology. So it is a good news for all of us who belong to this industry, either as employees or as aspirants like you in the job forum. A lot has been spoken by my previous speakers about what are the opportunities that the world has today, what are the career opportunities. Probably I'll touch upon a little bit on the career growth and development for biotech graduates and postgraduates that are present today. A common myth that we all have faced at some point of time is, if you have taken a subject like biotech or microbiology or biochemistry, the natural progression for you would be to complete your degree, go into masters, and naturally end up in academia. While that is absolutely okay, but it should not become a societal or a family pressure on you in any way. And it is not really a defining factor for you to call yourself a good or a bad resource in the market a couple of years down the line. I'll tell you how. So in Organica, if you walk in, right from the HR till the MD, we all belong from the biology sector. We've done various degrees, and eventually, of course, we had our calling. I moved into HR, somebody moved into some other sectors. But we have a bunch of bright people who started out with us, probably like you, as freshers. And today, if I tell you the diversity of the job profile that they hold, you will be amazed to know that within an industrial setup itself, within a single industry, there are so many things available for you freshers to do, apart from sitting in a wet lab and doing innovative work. While that is of course there, apart from that, so at Organica Biotech you get a first hand exposure into being technical, industrial technical experts while also generating revenue for the company. So we call you technical sales team or technical sales people. Now, the word sales is almost like a taboo in the Indian context, and people really don't look upon sales as a very prestigious kind of a role, or a prestigious kind of a role, a job role. So it's all about targets, it's all about chasing money. Yes, it is. But for an industry like Organica Biotech, here the salespeople are considered as industrial doctors. Okay. So they have the capability of walking into an effluent treatment plant or a sewage treatment plant, looking at the IoT, looking at the way the things are done, looking at the plumbing, the piping, the engineering behind it, suggesting industry customized solutions to the customers, and ultimately contributing to their optimization of capex and opex. So it is that big a horizon that a sales, merely a technical sales executive, gets to experience. So that is on the sales part. Next, we have projects. So I forgot to mention, apart from catering to all these industries, we also work very closely with the government sector, the B2G sector, wherein we go through the tender processing and everything, and we take turnkey projects and we deliver turnkey projects. So mostly in the segments of water bioremediation and solid waste management. Now, when it comes to project, again, we have master degree students, graduate students like you, biotechnology, microbiology, mostly these, who are deployed for managing an entire project, erectioning, commissioning, installation, after sales service, all of that. So see, if you thought that the sales profile was something very judgmental, here is a profile which does not even have a sales target. And all these profiles do not take you away from your from the love that you have for pursuing further things in biotechnology. Rather, it provides you with excellent live opportunities at the site to try and test whatever you have picked up in your college academics and apply it in a live situation. So that's that. And if I have to tell you, we also have, in terms of career growth and development, we have two paths that we take for people who are from the biology field. So we have, of course, the fresher hiring and then the lateral hiring. So I'll not talk much about the lateral hiring, because right now I think in this forum it wouldn't make sense much for me to touch upon that. But for the fresher hiring, the process, so it will also give you some idea as to how today you should be ready for facing, let's say, an interview call, or for even to be able to qualify in that context, how your CV should become visible. So what we do with freshers is, the preferred method of absorbing a fresher for us is splitting the entire internship into two parts. So we have windows for internship, summer internship and winter internship. And as my previous speaker said, these internships, not because we are paying you, but because we have a genuine requirement of a resource at that point of time during summer and again in winter, that we make this internship into a live project. So you get to work directly into an industry in an ongoing project and contribute to the benefit of the company, and of course learn in the process. So very recently we switched this program, or we tweaked this program in such a way that suppose we take 10 interns in summer internship, don't just look at it like a time pass internship. Excuse my the vocabulary I use, but pretty much that is the psyche, that somehow you need to finish this for the heck of completing your curriculum requirements. But trust me, it is not so. At least for an industry like ours, it is not, because we keep a very close eye on what you are doing. We nurture you, we train you, we guide you through the process. There are various milestones that we give you. So if you qualify, let's say XYZ milestone, you earn certain credits. And even to the extent that some of the bright interns get qualified to attend our winter internship on a direct entry basis. You don't have to sit for second round of interview or anything, because your performance in the past summer internship was so good. So I was actually reading while waiting in the waiting room some of the questions, like people maybe they've passed out last year or something and they don't know what are the internship opportunities. Here is what we do. So we not only secure you one internship, but we secure you two internships. So by the time the year ends, you actually have a 12-month internship solid work profile with you. And these are paid internships. So in industry, in interviews, obviously the paid internships are considered a little more valuable because there is a seriousness attached to it, simply. So that part. And yeah, and for any fresher that comes, we take a lot of pain to get the fresher trained. So we are a little pro on the automation side of things. So like you will have a learning module system. It is a self-styled, self-paced study. There will be different milestones. There will be doubt solving sessions. Some of it you can even do virtually. There would be industrial visits. We will make you even probably work on the marketing side of things by contributing to blogs. Your names can even get featured in the patent if you work on a certain innovation or on a certain new product development. Now tell me something. As freshers, none of this, maybe some of this, but none of this would have been possible if you only focused on a one-track program for your career, that after masters I have to go to PhD. I am not saying that PhD is in any way not the way to be. It is, but I assume that in this forum the subject says job placement, etc. So I'm just focusing purely on the this thing. Now, while you're working with the industry, we also have a system of providing you with an education, I would say, opportunity where you can work as well as study. Of course, there are certain clauses and terms that are attached to it. So as long as you fulfill them, you get qualified to even get covered under our company's education policy. For a few bright students, we also do a partial funding. Then what happens is, when you work in an industry like that, the industry itself is connected to all the academia. You name it, like you are from biotechnology, I'm also from the molecular biology and genetics background. So we know, for us, ICTs, BIRACs, NIRI, all these names are like, these are like temples for us, right? So here is an organization that has great collabs, even BARC, Bhabha Atomic Research Center. So we have collabs with these bodies, and there are a lot of programs, exchanges, student exchanges, tech transfer, co-collaboration, co-creation. Those things are going on in the backyard. So as a fresher, you have just got to have the hunger, the right attitude to, and the flexibility in adapting yourself. I mean, don't get judgmental even before you start dirtying your hands in the production, or let's say in the wet lab, or let's say in the sales and marketing. Don't have any preconceived notion, because today, if I have to tell you, had this XYZ resource thought at that point of time after masters that, oh well, I'm a very bright student, what am I doing in sales? He wouldn't be getting the opportunity to do a soil bioremediation sitting in, let's say, some remote place in the Gulf. Or he may not have been able to solve a complex problem that today a pharmaceutical industry is facing in terms of a discharge release, or the maintaining the COD BOD norms, or the CPCB norms, which are all the way up to the government of India mandate. So having said all of that, I think, yeah, the growth is immense. The development all depends on how much hard you're willing to work, how much are you going to put yourself out there. It also involves a bit of risk taking. I mean, you really don't know how the first year is going to be. So hang in there, and things are going to work out just as fine. Everybody loves to interact with fresh faces, fresh ideas, and you just got to have your radars on. Keep looking out for opportunities. A lot of us publish on our website, on our LinkedIn handles, social media handles. There are campus drives off and on. and use AI. I think none of us till now have spoken about AI. So use AI in the right way. Use AI for industrial research as to, okay, which are the biotech companies that I have. If you have location issues, maybe location constraint. Okay, these are the things. A detail, all of that. Or you can look at certain statistics, like for example, the placement statistics that the biotechnology industry has had. So you can do your own bit of research. At the same time, now touching upon the next point, nobody has actually spoken about it, the resume building and the interview tips. So it's a very amusing topic because again, here nowadays the use of AI has become like a pain, because people are mindlessly using AI. Some of them dangerously don't even know how to use the right prompt to AI to get what they need, and whatever the AI vomits, you are just copying and pasting. Trust me, it just takes 10 seconds as an HR like me to figure out which is AI and which is genuine. Not to demean anybody who uses it, AI. Use AI smartly, okay? Because in the process of over impressing the recruiter, you end up losing that window, which probably, had you written a very honest CV in a very simple format, in a Word doc or something, you would have probably got more attention. So now, resume building, if you talk about, I think we look at a resume in terms of the honesty. Believe me, it comes through when you read. Yes, as freshers, I'm sure your colleges may give you certain formats. So, like, you need to place your photograph on the right hand corner of the CV. You need to have your college's branding on top of the header. All that is fine. But what are you writing inside? It cannot be the same for person A and person B. So mindlessly copy pasting each other's format. I've been saying this in a lot of forums that I go to. I interact with students. This is a killer. Okay, it just kills your opportunity. Okay, there are cases where people even copy the hobbies. So it is a little disappointing that a person who doesn't even have that much conviction to write his or her own CV is definitely not a preferred candidate for any opportunity or any accountability. That nowadays, because everything is so digitalized and there is hardly any hard copy. I think I've forgotten the last time I saw a hard copy CV. So please work on a good covering note, a compelling covering note. It does not have to be very jargonish or very flowery when it comes to the language. In that covering note, you actually get an opportunity to introduce yourself a little beyond your CV. So highlight your hobbies, highlight what drives you towards this biotechnology world. Why at all did you take up this biotechnology subject? Are you passionate about environment? Are you passionate about new product development? Are you passionate about getting into APIs or something like that? Let the interviewer get to know you a little more through your covering letter. Believe me, it gets noticed. So for example, in our website, you have a section for careers, and when you click on it, there is a like a form, like a drop down. I am so disappointed to tell you that there are times when there is a free space, like you can really type some text like, hello, ma'am, I'm so and so, I'm hereby attaching my CV. Even if you write that much, it's fine, right? I'll have students who will write like XYZ. What were you really thinking about? Okay. So these are the little tips. I'm not saying anything out of the world, but these are basic things that you miss out in the hustle bustle of daily life. And of course, the spell checks with AI, again, it has become so good and so easy. Whatever you write, just run it through Grammarly once, and just be sure that grammatically you are at that point. Another thing that we see in the CV is what exactly is your extracurricular activities. So if I'm trying to look out for a person, let's say on the field sales or something, I would obviously try and see, this is a psychological testing basically, to see whether the person is has had a hobby of playing outdoor sports. Because if I'm putting someone, let's say, in agriculture, the person has to endure that 45-degree heat Indian summer, and he also has to probably endure that heavy monsoon which comes in the Vidarbha, Marathwada, all those regions. So if he is not athletic, or if he is not physically fit, probably down the line he is going to frizzle out from the entire career perspective. Or for example, if I'm looking at someone from the technical background for a marketing role, I could be probably interested to see whether the person has a flair for writing, whether the person has a flair for creating digital content, all of that. So yeah, the hobbies matter. Of course, the internships matter. Now here, what happens is you get asked certain questions about your internship. So for those of you who have taken the internship seriously, it's good news for you because you will really have a lot to talk about. But if you haven't, then well, at least the thesis or the project that you have submitted, go back to it and read before you come to the interview. So yeah, I think I pretty much spoke very basic things, nothing out of the world. I'll be happy to take questions because I see Shreya giving me a, probably appearing on the screen, giving me a signal that I should probably stop talking and take on questions. So yeah,
Actually,
happy
ma'am,
to.
we have some questions for you.
Please, please.
Yeah, is it visible to you? The question why
Yeah, what
Vamsi?
kind of positions are currently Organica Biotech offering? Yeah, so at any given point of time, Organica Biotech will always have requirements for technical sales because it's an ever expanding market for us. So today I have some requirement, let's say in Bangalore, tomorrow I may have something in Gujarat, and day after I may have something in Delhi. I may even have something in the back office in my Mumbai corporate office. I could have something for even overseas. So yeah, technical sales is something. R&D associate or R&D executive is another thing. New product development is another thing. But we have different selection criteria for all of this, of course. So you need to qualify. It's customized. So if I'm looking at a person for sales, the method of selection and screening is different. Okay.
Mhm.
And if I'm looking at someone for, let's say, R&D, again the method will be different. So keep an eye out on the handles, and you'll, yeah, we publish actually from time to time. Yeah.
So there is another question by Amruta. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
can you see it on the screen, ma'am?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. I'm able to. I'm able to. So, Amrita, first of all, you got to stay there strong because, post COVID, the entire talent acquisition, talent management piece has changed. Okay. We have gone pretty critical with the way we are. I mean, and honestly speaking, gone are those days where only English language and a bit of reference from here and there would work for you. So, as my pre speakers also said, you got to have your basics right, and it's all right if you have applied in so many companies, nothing has clicked. It just means that they don't have that requirement right now, but it doesn't harm if you start reaching out to that company without irritating them at a periodic manner. So yeah, sooner or later I'm sure they're going to catch the eye.
Mhm.
And yeah, another thing you can work upon is your LinkedIn profile. Keep it absolutely professional and active and all of that. So we do check those stuffs also. Yeah. And to start with, if you get something which is even not paying you right now for the internship, I think you should go for it for the simple experience part of it. What qualifications are needed for such sales positions? Okay, nice. So we have people from marine biotechnology, we have people from chemical engineering, we have people from bioinformatics, we have people from biotech engineering, we have people from biotech, we have people from microbiology. You name it, and we have it, and they are all a bunch of happy salespeople today. So yeah, graduates and freshers both.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much, Nabanita, ma'am. It was
Thank
really
you,
a
Shreya.
good session by you, helping students how to build their resume and what opportunities they can get in today's market. So, yeah, right now we have joining us next is MD Mahfooz Khan. He is regulatory executive and social relationship manager at BioDiligent. So, here to you, sir.
Yeah, hi. Yeah, thank you,
Hi.
Shreya. Thank you for giving me this platform. And yeah, hello everyone. How are you guys? And yeah, I would like to first briefly introduce myself. Myself, Mahfooz Khan, and I myself is a biotechnologist, and I specialize in bioinformatics and regulatory affairs. And I'll just sum up all of these in a brief PPT. Just allow me a second to present. Okay, so yeah, today we are going to talk about biotech pharma recruitment, growth, and success. Okay, so first of all, let me introduce you about my company. So currently, I am working for BioDiligent, and it is a biotech startup, and it is a contract research organization, and we provide services to research organizations like intellectual property rights, regulatory affairs, and bioinformatic analysis. And our aim is to just provide cutting edge contract research and regulatory services to the organizations, right? And I would also like to mention what are the future opportunities in the biotech and pharma industries. So like all the previous members talked about these things, so I would just brief you about it. So the currently growing sectors are personalized medicine and genomics, and AI in drug discovery. Like we have seen that in 2024, AI based software got Nobel Prize, right? So this AI is currently growing very fast, very rapidly in this sector. So we should all of you students should get to know AI, use it, and use it wisely. And the next one is ASO therapy. What is ASO therapy? It is currently a very growing field. ASO is basically antisense oligotherapy, and I would like to mention a company which is currently working on it, and I was recently part of it. It is Vastu Vihar Biotech. So Vastu Vihar Biotech is currently working on ASO-based therapy. We can call it RNA therapy too, and it is targeting rare diseases and autoimmune diseases to treat those diseases through ASO and RNA therapy, right? So in upcoming 5 years or 10 years, these will be the growing sectors in biotechnology. ASO therapy will be the most growing sector, I bet. And bioinformatics is also growing. Let's talk about regulatory affairs. See, regulatory is something which every pharmaceutical and drug development company should have. It will have, because regulatory is the bridge between discovery to market, to presenting your drug to the market. How would you present it? How the drugs, how your experiment should go? It basically provides all the SOPs, how the experiment should carried out, right? The next one should be a clinical research associate and patent analyst. Patent analyst is the currently very growing very fast, very rapidly patent, because suppose if a drug company is there and it is working on something new. So first of all, they have to take patent of that idea. Okay, so ideas should be patented so that no one else could copy it. So, patent analyst is currently growing very fast, rapidly. Moving on to the next slide, let's talk about hiring process, right? So, how I hire, right? मैं कैसे देखता था? तो सबसे पहले जो आपकी जॉब एप्लीकेशन होती है, योर रेज्यूमे, इट शुड बी वेरी लॉयल, राइट? लॉयल इन द सेंस आपके रेज्यूमे बहुत ही नीट एंड क्लीन होनी चाहिए. इट शुडंट इंक्लूड मच ऑफ ग्राफिक्स, राइट? It should be clear, end to end should be very flawless, right? Your resume should highlight your skills. If you have any published papers, mention it at the top. The interviewer will screen your resume and will ask questions from your resume, right? Whatever you have written there, like our previous speakers talk about, like don't put anything into that resume. If your college advises it, don't just put anything. Put the things which you already know, you worked on, right? क्योंकि आपका जो रिक्रूटर रहेगा, आपके रिज्यूमे के बेसिस पे आपसे क्वेश्चंस करेगा. लाइक मैं अभी जब पिछली कंपनी के लिए हायर कर रहा था, तो मेरे पास बहुत सारे ऐसे लोग आते थे जिनसे मैं जब क्वेश्चन पूछता था, तो उन्होंने अपने रिज्यूमे में लिखा कुछ है, बट दे नो नथिंग अबाउट इट, राइट? So you should be aware of whatever you write in your resume, and you should always make it crisp and clear, right? Moving on to, like, yeah, I've talked about this. What are the career growth opportunities in biotech field currently? So research associate, clinical trial coordinator. See, clinical trial coordinator is a thing which is currently growing, because in pharma companies which have a preclinical department with them. Preclinical is the department where if they work on animals to test their drugs efficacy, their target validation, everything. And if you get into this, it would be very beneficial for you guys. So you should do courses about it. You should learn how to get into this clinical trial coordinator job description, right? Moving on to how you make your resume, right? So just like I've told just now, आपका जो भी रेज्यूमे हो वो बहुत ही क्लियर होना चाहिए. इट शुड बी इजी टू अंडरस्टैंड. डोंट इंक्लूड मच ऑफ ग्राफिक्स. मेक इट क्लियर. आपके जॉब डिस्क्रिप्शन होने चाहिए. अभी बहुत सारे कंपनीज ऑटोमेटेड टूल्स यूज करते हैं टू स्क्रीन योर रेज्यूमे. सो एक चीज होती है एटीएस स्कोर. यू हैव टू चेक योर एटीएस स्कोर ऑफ योर रेज्यूमे. अपने रेज्यूमे के एटीएस स्कोर चेक कीजिए. एंड ये सारे फ्री एआईज आपके कर सकते हैं. लाइक चैट जीपीटी कैन डू इट फॉर यू. इफ यू हैव अ बेसिक रेज्यूमे यू कैन गिव इट टू चैट जीपीटी एंड इट विल क्रिएट अ गुड resume for you on the basis of a good ATS score, right? जब भी क्वेश्चन आपसे इंटरव्यूअर पूछे, कुछ भी एक क्वेश्चन पूछे अबाउट एनी टॉपिक, डोंट गिव एनी आंसर. लाइक कुछ भी इधर उधर के आंसर मत दो. इफ यू डोंट नो द आंसर जस्ट से नो आई डोंट नो इट. बिकॉज इंटरव्यूअर भी एक टाइम के बाद आपसे परेशान हो जाएगा अगर आप उसको कुछ भी आंसर देने लगोगे तो. ठीक है. और जब वो आपसे कोई क्वेश्चन पूछे तो आप उसमें एक ट्रिक यूज करो जो मैं पर्सनली बहुत पसंद करता हूँ. कि जब भी मैं किसी से क्वेश्चन पूछूं, लाइक मैं अगर मान लो आपसे क्वेश्चन पूछता हूँ कि व्हाट डू यू नो अबाउट बैक्टीरियोफाजेस. सो मैं सिर्फ आपसे ये नहीं जानना चाहता कि आप बैक्टीरियोफाज के बारे में क्या जानते हो. मैं आपसे ये जानना चाहता हूँ कि आप बैक्टीरियोफाज के बारे में क्या जानते हो और क्या आपने उस पर क्या काम किया है. आई वॉन्ट टू नो दैट. तो आप हर क्वेश्चन के साथ उसमें अपने एक्सपीरियंस को भी ऐड करो. इंक्लूड योर एक्सपीरियंस विद दैट पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन, राइट. सो इससे क्या होगा कि आपका जो इंटरव्यूअर रहेगा उसमें एक ट्रस्ट बिल्ड होगा कि हाँ, अगर ये जो कैंडिडेट है अगर ही इज लैकिंग सम ऑफ द पॉइंट्स, इवन दो उसके पास एक्चुअल वर्क एक्सपीरियंस है. नाउ अगर आप बायोटेक के फील्ड में जाना चाह रहे हो तो लेट्स डिस्क्राइब इट इनटू टू पार्ट्स, ड्राई लैब एंड वेट लैब. अगर आप वेट लैब में जाना चाहते हो, focus on hands-on skills. Hands-on skills is what the recruiters are looking for now. आपकी डिग्री मैटर करती है एट सम एक्सटेंट बट नॉट ऑलवेज. अभी फिलहाल हमने जहाँ तक हायरिंग्स की है, वी प्रीफर एमएससीज विथ हैंड्स ऑन एक्सपीरियंसेस. तो अगर आप एक ग्रेजुएट हो या पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट हो एंड यू हैव अ गुड हैंड्स ऑन एक्सपीरियंस इन स्किल्स and in laboratory skills, we would prefer you. Next point जो कि बहुत ही important है, अगर आपके पास skills भी है, you know everything, but आप experiments carry out करते हो एक wet lab में and you don't know how to report it, then it's a very big loss. आपको अपने एक्सपेरिमेंट्स को रिपोर्ट करना आना चाहिए एंड फॉर दैट you should get to know about some AI tools or some tools which help you to generate stats for you, right? तो आपको इन सब के बारे में भी जानना चाहिए. And yeah, I would like to keep it as short as possible, and if you guys have any questions, I'm okay for it.
So, yeah, Mahfooz sir, we do have questions for you.
Yeah.
So,
I'm a
question by
postgraduate
Vansi.
in bioprocessing and biotherapeutics from Hillside University, currently doing research on mRNA vaccine and therapeutic enzymes. I pretty possess technical skills, but what are the other skills that companies are looking for? See, बहुत सारे कंपनीज ऐसे हैं जो कि mRNA थेरेपी पे भी काम कर रहे हैं और बहुत सारे कंपनीज ऐसे हैं which are working on RNA therapy. So you should first check out the company's requirement. दैट की जिस कंपनी के लिए आप अप्लाई कर रहे हो वो mRNA थेरेपी के लिए जॉब उसका ओपनिंग है या फिर RNA थेरेपी के लिए. सो इफ यू हैव good hands-on experience on mRNA vaccine, so it's very good for you. And I think you should additionally you should get a bit of knowledge about bioinformatics, because bioinformatics plays a very big role in like any RNA therapy, including mRNA therapy. So I would suggest you get into bioinformatics, get some knowledge about it, and that will be okay for you.
Okay, so one more question is there.
Currently pursuing masters in biotechnology as a fresher, which segment I can work upon next for job purposes. See, if you are currently in your final years, try to get into some research organizations and as a intern, and try to get as much hands-on experience you require and you can get. Okay, and there are few trending topics which you should focus on. Get Try to get hands-on experience on RT-PCR, HPLC, GCMS, LCMS. These are some things which are currently every organization is looking for. And if you could, yeah, that's pretty much it, and that will be enough for you.
Okay, we have one more question by Neha.
What should first year graduate undergraduate biotech student do to get internship in industry? See, utilize LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the best platform you can get. Okay, utilize it and keep on applying it. Okay, work on your as Nabanita ma'am also mentioned that work on your LinkedIn profile, right? Recruiters actively watch your LinkedIn profile. If your LinkedIn profile is good, it will give a very huge impact on your profile, right? So आप अपने LinkedIn profile पे work करो and keep on applying.
Okay, yeah, thank you so much, Mahfooz sir, for
Yeah.
sharing insights about your organization, the hiring process, and tips to build the resume. And that would be really helpful for the audience who have joined today. And thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Shreya, and thank you so much, Biotechnica, for this platform.
So, students, we have finally Dr. Praveen Bommareddy, the Chief Technical Officer at Vivid Nutripharma, with us today. Sir, you are on mute.
Good evening. Thank you so much for giving me opportunity on this platform first. Yeah, I have a PPT shared with you people. Can you just kind of, yeah. So first of all, myself, I'm Dr. Praveen. Little bit about me. I was a master's, and after that, I was a doctorate, and then after that, I was an entrepreneur myself. So I was founder of this company called as, next slide, please. Next slide, please. Hello. Yeah, I'm founder of this company called as Vivid Nutrifarm. Okay, so what we do is, we do nutraceutical products for chronic healthcare problems. Like I would say, it's a kind of complementary medicine and alternate medicine providing company. Like where you don't have therapeutic applications for certain diseases, say like CKD, where dialysis is your dead end. We have a product actually which could restore CKD back, and we also have many products like that actually which can help patients with chronic healthcare problems. Next slide, please. Yeah. Scopes. When you speak of biotech industry is very diverse with diverse possibilities or diverse opportunities. So it can be briefly like as you can see, services sector, commercial operations, operators and all this. So having said all this, I would say that biotech is a very vast industry, as previous speakers are saying, and there are like lot of scopes, there are a lot of areas where you can work into, where you can get into. It's a diverse area. It's a diverse field, like with lot of opportunities where you can be really into R&Ds, or you can be into business development, or you can be into general operations, you can be into commercial operations or services like clinical research. Yeah, next slide, please. So yeah, this is where this is what I want to focus on, like particularly for freshers. uh, what are the challenges the biotech industry today have? Biotech industry is generally a high demanding industry. like where people need real-time skills, real-time exposure of things. Like biotech is not a tougher degree, is not an easy degree like life sciences, microbiology, biochemistry, biotech, you name it. Like they're not easy degrees, so you have to. Uh, People go through a lot of time and all, and particularly when somebody does a doctorate or somebody is practically trained with some things, it requires a lot of efforts and skills to master biotech degrees. So when you are looking for a job in a biotech industry, what is uh, important is you have these are the factors you have to take into consideration. Like when you are taking a biotech career, these are the challenges that are going to come with it. First of all, you need some certifications. You need to have some technical proficiency. You need to have some regulatory knowledge. You need to have some experience. You need to have some specialization, geographic mobility, work-life balance, educational requirements. So these are all the challenges. Like there are not many places where you have biotech industries. For example, you have biotech industries in Hyderabad or Bangalore, but you cannot have biotech industries in like tier 2, tier 3 cities of this country. So relocation will be a problem. And you need to understand like your specializations, like where you want to get into, what you need to do. I mean, experience and all. Next slide, please. Okay. Key requirements in biotech industry: you need industrial exposure, you need to be a team player, adapt to company environment, good communication skills. Okay. First of all, industrial exposure is something what all freshers don't have. And I see a lot of freshers coming up with the questions, like industries don't give us exposure, where we get industries. So there is a lot of these questions of why here. So now I'll put two examples to clarify, like why an industry will be hesitant to take any fresher. Why industries are not taking freshers? Actually, things are happening like but yeah, when the question is why, I'll say like industries typically operate on large commercial levels. For example, a manufacturing company, if they're doing a batch and if a fresher is part of an experienced team and an experienced person is leading something on the fresher, so what happens is, there is a huge loss that could incur if they lose the batch. Manufacturing generally happens at like 20% or 10% margins. Oh, so to recover the losses, the company needs 10 batches actually, which is a huge risk. And regulatory compliances. Freshers don't understand regulatory compliances generally, and that's another problem. Okay, so industrial exposure is a must. So industrial exposure can be gained through your internships or maybe some other way, or like uh, uh, yeah, and freshers most often don't understand, what a company environment is. Every company is a small micro environment here. Say like pharma companies are a different micro environment. Nutraceuticals are a different micro environments, and every other company is a different micro environment. So the point here is, you have a lot of options, lot of diversified options where you want to get in. Really depends on where you have to, uh, where you feel your skills are. Like what is really of interest to you. Okay, next slide, please. Yeah, hiring process. I'm not a typical HR, so I cannot comment much. Yeah, but I would say when freshers has to be hired, what do we look at generally in my company? So I see that like I was not a normal company, like like we are just doing things out of box, like whatever products we make are like really novel and they're not existent. So I hire people based on their personality more than their skills. I cannot expect person to have skills, particularly a fresher, uh, with all the skills that are required to fulfill a job. Okay, but I see the trainability of the person, like if the person is trainable, and I see the person fit into the micro environment in which we work. Like as I told, every company has a different requirement, like and there are different translational phases. I was a startup, so I was at a certain translational phase. Established companies will have different opportunities and they will be at different phases, so the job roles will be different. In startups, it's different. So yeah, next slide, please. Yeah, thank you all. Any questions are welcome, please.
Yeah, so and, Praveen sir, we have received some questions for you as well. So it is by Kamakya Sahu, like says pursuing masters in pharmacy. And
Yeah, I'm now a
what is the
master
next?
in pharmacy, pharmaceuticals.
Mhm.
What is the next move, better growth of my future, PhD or anything? Once again, it depends on your interest. Like, everything is a different ballgame. PhD is a different ballgame. Industry is a different ballgame. In industry, you need different kind of skills, and you need, different kind of approach for an industrial career. PhD is a different kind of career path. PhD is a very long career path, very uncertain career path. I would say, like being a PhD myself, like into molecular genetics and all, like 8 years degrees. And at the end of the day, anything can happen. But yeah, I think industries are more stable career opportunities when you compare with PhD. Still, if you want to do a PhD, if you can get an industrial PhD, that can be very good. If your industry supports you for PhD, something called a sponsored PhD, that will be very good.
Okay. Yeah, there is one more question. So it is
Sir, I'm
by.
pursuing masters in biotechnology and
Mhm.
I want to enter in bioinformatics and currently I'm doing course on computational genomics and learning genome assembly. What should I do? Learn the okay. Biotechnology is a huge field. It's not only about computational biology. It can be anything. Like if computational biology is your interest, pursue that and try to find opportunities which fits you into that. Next question, please. Okay.
Yeah, so that's all, sir. Thanks a lot for sharing insights and how your company functions in hiring process and all. So, students, if you have any questions, you can just mail it to us here in below the screen. You can view the email ID. You can mail and you can drop the questions. We will answer to you. And thanks a lot for joining us today. Hope this webinar was quite insightful for you, and this will help you to build your resume and also will help you to uh, apply and then give interviews and all. Thanks a lot. Have a good day. Bye.